Raheel Siddiqui. I recently lost 185 pounds, and I'm so excited to be here to share my story, my journey of overcoming obesity, but to also try to show all of you why quitting is never an option, and also why any wall that is put up in front of your life is meant to be broken. You see, I have been battling obesity nearly my entire life, from birth up until my late 20s. And it was tough. I was bullied, I was made fun of, I was harassed, I was body shamed, I was broken. And I think what hurt me the most was this was happening from people mainly in my inner circle, loved ones, relatives, classmates, colleagues, friends. And I think what hurt the most was I was feeling very deceived, because here I am thinking that you guys want me around, and I think that we are laughing together. I think that we are all being together, having a good time, and you're laughing with me, but in the end, you're actually laughing at me. So I knew at some point in my life that this was my wall. This was the one piece of adversity, the one wall that I had to actually go through and break if I ever truly wanted to find happiness again by conquering my obesity. So fast forward to January 2010. I am 27 years old, and I am actually at my heaviest weight, and I end up at 405 pounds. And my father, one Saturday morning, he was a healthcare professional, he was a pharmacist, and I remember him just looking at me, and it kind of hit him like a ton of bricks, like, wow. Had this concerned look on his face, and he told me, like, listen, I think we need to go to the doctor to get you checked out. I'm very concerned with your health. I'm very concerned with your weight, and I need to see what's going on with you. Not the best thing you want to hear on a Saturday morning, but obviously he was my father, he was concerned, so I said, okay, let's go. Got my blood work done. A few days later, we go to the doctor's office to go over my results. And this is one story I'll never forget. So we get to the doctor's office. My dad and I were sitting there. Doctor walks in. He has a folder in his hand. Just does a quick meet and greet. Just a head nod. Takes the folder, opens the folder, has my results in it, flips through the few pages of results, not even a few seconds, closes the folder, throws it on the counter, looks at my father and I and says, it doesn't matter what these results say. Your son will be dead by the time he's 40 unless he changes his ways. And that's it. And my first thought was, well, that's a 0-star review for you, Doc. Talk about bedside manner, right? So my father and I were in a complete shock, and my dad and the doctor went over to the side to talk for a minute or two, and that was it. We left. The fastest doctor's visit I ever had. So I remember driving home that day. We were about halfway home, and I remember my father just looking at me. He said, hey, can you pull the car over? And I'm saying, yeah, is everything okay? He said, yes, I just want to talk to you. Can you please pull the car over? I said, okay, sure. So I pulled the car over, and I asked him, I'm like, hey, what's going on? I'm driving, by the way, he's in the passenger seat, and I asked him, I'm like, hey, what's going on? He said, listen, I need you to take this seriously. I'm running out of time. I won't be there to see you get married. I won't be there to see you have kids. I won't be there to see any of my grandkids. But you still have time. You still have time to take control of your life. You still have time to take control of your health. You need to promise me that you are going to do this. And in that moment, I was just very shocked, because I've never seen him talk like that. So, when he had asked me, he was telling me that, you know, I need you to take this seriously. I need you to promise me that you will do this. Promise me that you will take care of your health. Promise me that you will take care of your life. And in that moment, like I said, I just never seen him that serious before, because obviously I was like in shock. And also for that reason, he was dealing with a lot of health issues at that time. My dad was, he had a liver issue that was really wearing down on him. So I felt like that was his one opportunity. Honestly, maybe his last opportunity to try to knock some sense into me. I mean, I'm 27 years old, I'm his youngest son, I'm 405 pounds, and the doctor just told me not even 10 minutes ago that I'm going to be dead by the time I'm 40 unless I do something. So I think all of that just being considered, I just looked at him and I said, okay, I promise you, I will try my best. I promise you I will try to take control of my life. I promise I will try to take control of my health. And then we drove off. And then A few months go by, I'm trying and failing, trying and failing, trying and failing, and then I did what I always did. I quit. I just kept quitting, because that's what I knew. All I knew was quitting. And they say in life, timing is everything, though. So a few of my close friends actually reached out to me in April 2010, and they were like, hey man, a few of us are all joining a gym, state-of-the-art gym. Why don't you join with us? It'll be fun. We can all hang out together. We can work out together, play basketball together. It would be great. So I'm thinking, okay, yeah, this is awesome. Everything that I'm trying is not working, so sign me up, let's do it. But I remember when I was signing up for the gym, there was a gym class that they were teaching for people just like me. People who were severely overweight, who were obese, who needed a jump start on their health and fitness journey. And the class was called Team Weight Loss Class. And I remember getting there the first day of class, and it was tough. I mean, 405 pounds is hard to tell a guy to get on a treadmill and do exercise for like an hour straight. But nonetheless, it was 3 days a week. I was able to somehow push through that first week. And at the end of each week, they do weekly weigh-ins. And after the first week, the trainer tells me, she's like, Raheel, you actually lost 5 pounds this week. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, that's pretty good. For a guy who's done zero physical activity in like 10 plus years, maybe an occasional pickup basketball here and there. So in my mind, I wanted to try to shift my mindset. I was like, what if I just come every single day, 7 days a week, including my class? What would my week 2 weigh-in look like? I did that, got to my week 2 weigh-in, different trainer. I get on the scale, I look at him, he looks at me, he goes, wow. I said, good or bad? He was like, dude, you lost almost 20 pounds this week. And I'm thinking to myself, wow. You know, they say in life, the hardest step in life to take when facing adversity is the first step. And finally, after 27 years, that was finally the first time I ever felt like I took that first step towards something. You know, I didn't quit. I didn't give up. I didn't run away from that wall that was knocking me down over and over again. So then I had like this fire just lit up inside me, and the bulb just hit my brain, and I was like, man, let's get after it. And then I just unleashed a beast in me. And then from May 2010 to May 2011, I lost my first 150 pounds. And it was awesome. I had a bounce in my step. I had swagger. I had confidence. I was rolling. I was like, man, this is my summer, 2011. I'm going to kill it. But as they say in life, unfortunately, you take one step forward, and then you take 2 steps backward. So my father was so excited. He got to see his youngest son fulfill his promise. And even though my health was obviously skyrocketing, quote unquote, my father's health took a really bad turn for the worse. My family and I, we went for a family wedding in Connecticut that July 2011, my cousin, his nephew, and unfortunately, the night of the reception, my father's liver actually completely blew out. He actually ended up pretty much dying in my hands that night. And my family was there, and our relatives were there, complete shock, just shock. And I'm like, what is, like, it just, I can't even wrap my head around it, even now, 13 years later. And to add salt on the wound, not sure if you can have a bigger wound than that, losing your father the way I did. The day of the funeral, I feel a pop in my back, and what is it? I blow a herniated disc in my back that causes severe sciatica down to my left leg, down to my toes. And I'm just thinking to myself, what just happened? Like, here I am, I finally took that first step, finally didn't quit, got down 150 pounds. I feel like I'm on top of the world in 1 minute, and the next minute I just come crashing back down to earth. So in that moment, when all of this happened that week, the fire that I had just completely burned out. I didn't have it anymore. I just didn't have that edge anymore when all that went down. I mean, what was the point? My father was gone. I did this for him. I had an injury that was really wearing down on me. So I said, you know what, I'm just gonna go about my life and we'll see where life takes me. Fast forward to the summer of 2015, I meet a special someone, and then that November 2016, that special someone becomes my amazing wife, and I feel like I'm happy again. I'm like, okay, I'm in a good place, I'm happy, I'm married, I'm gonna focus on my marriage, and I'll kind of see where life goes. But honestly, I wasn't happy, because I gained about 50 to 60 pounds of my weight back. This is the end of 2017, a year after my wedding, because I kept running away from those walls.
that crept back up on me. My sciatica, my back pain wasn't going away, and I didn't have that fire anymore, so the weight just kept creeping on. So I knew in the back of my head that I need to find a way to fix this. But I told you I was really great at quitting, because that's all I knew, right? So again, even though I was still exercising, I just didn't have that fire lit in me. Nonetheless, I'm like, okay, I have my lovely wife here. So like most married couples, we wanted to start a family. So right away we get started. 2 years goes by though, we're having zero luck. So we have to go figure out what's going on, right? So we get a bunch of tests done, go see the specialist, never forget it. My wife and I sitting across the doctor's desk. The doctor just tilts her chair a little bit towards me. She says, Raheel, I can't 100% confirm this, but I believe your extreme weight loss and whatever just overall composition, whatever's going on with you in your body with your weight loss could be the primary reason why you guys are having trouble having children and infertility issues. The only solution that I think you guys have to try to have children is through in vitro fertilization, IVF. And in my mind, I just had so many thoughts. First thought, I'm thinking, okay, well, obesity was my wall. That was my wall to conquer and run through. Now I'm asking my brand new wife of 2 years to run through this wall with me. So I'm like, okay. And then the second thought I'm thinking is, damn, like, so you're telling me these are my options? Die an unhealthy death at 40? Or try to get healthy but not have kids? Life is fair, right? And my wife, having that tunnel vision, she was like, you know what? It is what it is, so be it. If IVF is our only option, then this is what we have to go through. It was her dream to be a mother. It was her dream to be a family, mine too. But obviously I was like, okay, then we'll start the process. And if you guys don't know about in vitro fertilization, it is a beast. A beast. I mean, emotionally, spiritually, physically, financially. I mean, it is absolutely draining. Did you know that women from the ages of 40 to 44 have an only 11% chance of success after the first cycle? Go figure. I'm 37 and my wife is 40. So not only I felt like our backs were against the wall, I felt like another wall was coming, just closing in on us. And I felt like the deck was so stacked against us. So I'm like, man, like, but obviously this was her wall now to break, right? Because obviously I felt like in a way, I felt like I was the wall that was standing in her way. You know, my obesity is what's causing this right now. Nonetheless, my amazing wife, we start the process and we're going. And every single day, she was on taking medications, injections, nausea, vomiting, sickness. I mean, every single day. So I remember a few months go by, I see her in the bed, exhausted. And I'll be the first one, I told you guys. I wanted to quit. I mean, I'll tell you, I quit. I was like, I mean, to see the love of your life struggle so much for something that you feel like it's your fault. It was one of the most gut-wrenching things to see. So I go up to her in the bed, I'm saying, listen, I think we should quit. You know, I don't know if we can do this anymore. I don't know if you can do this anymore. How much can you take every single day? And I remember she just looked at me. She took her 2 fingers and she pointed them right at her stomach. She said, I'm having this baby. I said, okay. And she said, she was like, quitting is not an option. And then she kind of got pissed off. She's like, don't you ever tell me you want to quit again. So I said, okay, damn. I guess I shouldn't bring that back up. So we keep going, you know. More injections, more medications, more nausea, more sickness, more money. Just going through the process. And then February 2019, though, we do get a call saying that you guys might have some great news coming in November. So we get to November 11th, 2019, 4:29 a.m., 1 year from when we started. And after putting her body, her mind, her spirit, her soul, her heart, after so many tears, crying, struggling, suffering, taking her shoulder and just ramming it against that wall, and ramming it against that wall, and ramming it against that wall. Do you know what was waiting for her on the other side of that wall after 1 year? Not what, it was who. Our son. It's funny because I actually want to say that we did it, but we didn't do it. She did it. And we became a family. Raheel Siddiqui. Pretty cool name, right? R-A-Y-N. So we're a family, and to my wife, I want to say thank you so much because you never quit on us when I did. And I learned from you after delivering our son, after what you went through for 1 year, that quitting is never an option. And any wall in your life is meant to be broken. So we're a family, we're excited, we're happy, we're loving it. It's a beautiful thing. And as they say in life though, you take 1 step forward and you take 2 steps backward. January 2020 rolls around and paternity leave is over. I'm in my work garage. I bend over to tie my shoe. I stand back up, start screaming. What happens? I blow out my 2nd herniated disc in my back. Life is fair, right? So I'm thinking to myself, man, I was in so much pain, I couldn't even drive unless I laid my seat all the way back. That's how much pain I was in. So I'm finally get home, I'm talking to my wife, like, what are we going to do? So what else can we do? I ran away from this wall of sciatica for 9 years now. There's no other way except you gotta go right through it. Luckily, my wife's best friend is a physician. She referred us to a great surgeon. Got the surgery done. Surgery was a success. Thumbs up. Best decision I ever made. But I remember before I left the hospital, the doctor and the nurse told me it's gonna be about 6 weeks recovery before I get to full strength. 6 weeks of rehab, physical therapy, walks around the neighborhood, bandage changes. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I get to my car, my wife's driving, I'm in the back seat. My newborn son next to me, I just start crying, like just let it all out. I'm just in tears, like, oh, you know, like how much more, man? Like how much more? You know what I mean? I was like, I gotta go another 6 weeks of this. And then I remember telling my wife I want to quit because that's what I did best. I was a quitter. And I remember her looking at me right in the rearview mirror. She was like, you're talking to me about quitting? Me? And she said, you made a promise to me. You made a promise to your dad. She said, you're a father now. She said, your son needs the best version of you mentally and physically. There's no way you're going to quit. We got this. You got this. I'll be with you every step of the way. So for 6 weeks, I had to do physical therapy around the house, rehab exercises, walks around the neighborhood, bandage changes. Those are my scars right there. Every single day my wife had to change my dressings. She had to carry me up the stairs, down the stairs, all over, you know. It was hard. It was hard. But again, you know, life is hard, man. I mean, that's just the reality of it. That's the nature of the beast. So, nonetheless, 6 weeks are up. I go see my doctor, and he tells me, he's like, Raheel, congratulations. He's like, your 100% pain-free surgery was a success. I'll never forget the 3 words that he told me. He said, let it out. He said, let it out. And I don't know why, but for whatever reason, I mean, that fire, that spark that I was missing for 9 years, after I had to bury my father and say goodbye to him, it came back. It came back like no tomorrow. And today, I was able to rip off all that weight that I gained, and I did lose 185 pounds. I am in the greatest shape of my life. I did turn 40 years old. Every single wall that they put in front of me, I was able to run right through it. I mean, my wife is the biggest reason why. And I'm here to tell all of you guys, just don't quit. If you're a student in this school, and you're studying so hard for that exam, 1 week, 2 weeks, you take that exam and you think, I'm going to get an A, but the result is you get a C. What are you going to do? It's easy to say I want to transfer to another class. It's easy to say I want to drop the course. It's easy to say I want to quit. But you're not running through your wall, you're running away from it. If you're a teacher at this school and you've been teaching here for 5 or 6 years and you're telling yourself, oh, that promotion is due, I'm going to get it, no doubt in my mind. And the principal and the school board says, the promotion goes to not you. What are you going to do? It's easy to say that I want to transfer to another school. It's easy to say that I want to quit. But you're not running through your wall, you're running away from it. If I had quit my fitness journey, I wouldn't be up on this stage talking to all of you, doing a TEDx talk, which is like a dream come true. If I had quit my fitness journey, I would be dead right next to my father. And if my wife had quit our parental journey, we wouldn't be parents to the most amazing baby boy I've ever seen in my life. Quitting is easy. I know, I've done it my whole life. But I promise you, I want you to leave here and try to shift your mindset. Tell yourself, you know what, whatever wall that I need to break, whatever pain I'm going through, whatever struggle I'm going through, whatever adversity, whatever obstacle, whatever it is in front of me, tell yourself, this is the wall that is in front of me. And tell yourself, shift your mindset, tell yourself, this is a challenge. You know, I'm not going to feel sorry for myself. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to run away from that wall. I'm going to go right through it. Because I promise you, whatever is on the other side of that wall is going to be the most amazing, amazing piece of your life. Whatever goal you're trying to chase, whatever dream you're trying to chase, whatever greatness is on the other side of that wall, it's there. It's there. It's going to be hard, and it's okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay to struggle. It's okay to suffer. But when you get to that other side, it's the most beautiful thing you will ever see in your entire life. I just showed you. You can ask my wife. She'll tell you. Muhammad Ali said, suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion. David Goggins says, to grow you must suffer. And the late, great Kobe Bryant, it's not the destination, it's the journey. Tell yourself, no matter what, quitting is never an option, and any wall is meant to be broken. And to my dad, I want to say thank you so much for helping me knock down arguably the biggest wall of my entire life. And I just want you to know I kept my promise. Thank you.